Hello and welcome, I'm Ankit Ruteja and you are watching Tech It Out. Today we show you how countries around the world are improving their defense systems to counter attacks. Know how some nations are turning to high-tech devices to keep an eye on their citizens. And watch our exclusive interview to know everything about India's new online gaming rules. Let's get started. Iran is emerging as a global leader in the production of cheap and lethal drones. And not to our surprise, it is consistent with its efforts in improving the drone technologies. Here is more.
Iran has come up with numerous drones over the last decade. They're cheap, have a good range, come with flight endurance and stealth capabilities, and can counter GPS jamming systems. These drone systems have demonstrated Tehran's advancements in the UAV space. And now, the country is flaunting a new version. According to reports, the Islamic Republic has successfully tested a new kamikaze drone called the Mirage 532. Look at what's special about it. The long-range, high-precision kamikaze drone can carry 50 kilograms of explosives. It has a range of 450 kilometers. The high-precision drone can fly as high as 12,000 feet for 3 straight hours. The high-tech drone is equipped with a piston engine and can take off from a vehicle. It's reported that it can hit the desired targets with high accuracy. And most importantly, the drone can be easily assembled, which many believe makes it a suitable solution for rapid reaction operations. Iran has made significant strides in unmanned aerial vehicles in recent years. Time and again, officials from the Islamic Republic have emphasized that the nation will not hold back on enhancing its military capabilities. Clearly, Iran intends to be a major player in the drone industry globally.
Technology is adding new dimensions to warfare. From autonomous drones to sophisticated cybersecurity systems, countries are turning to new technologies. We just saw what Iran is up to. Other countries across the globe are also investing heavily in new age tech to stay ahead of emerging threats. Here are some of the cutting-edge innovations developed by various nations to ensure security and stability in their regions.
The world has become more interconnected and complex. Security threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated. And as one would expect, various countries are strengthening their defense technologies. Here are the key emerging players and their new innovations. The first nation on our list is the United Kingdom. The country is leading a multinational initiative along with Japan and Italy. It is called Global Combat Air Program. The plan is to develop a 6th-generation stealth fighter by 2035. The new aircraft will come with advanced sensors. The warplane is expected to replace 94 F-2S in Japan, 144 Eurofighters in the UK and 94 Eurofighters in Italy. The joint fighter jet development is significant because it brings together technological advantages of the 3 countries to develop the advanced next-generation fighter. The deal will give Japan greater support in countering China's growing assertiveness and allow Britain a bigger presence in the Indo-Pacific region.
We're going to unlock paths to new technologies and new platforms, unlock export markets, unlock potential new partners, but lock in a strategic partnership of the liberal, open democracies who believe in the rule of law and upholding international values across the world that are threatened so strongly today. It's a global partnership. It's not a local partnership.
The United States has always been at the forefront of developing high-end defense technologies. Its homegrown startup Hermeus is working on an unmanned drone that could be able to transport humans at hypersonic speeds, meaning it will have speeds faster than Mach 5. Called Quarter Horse, the aircraft will achieve speeds of around 4,800 kilometers per hour. Interestingly, the company has taken an epic leap with its aviation engineering. It certainly is something that would introduce new tactical dynamics in military conflict.
Another US company, Rebellion Defense, is building an AI-powered software for the military, intelligence agencies, and law enforcement. The program is called Rebellion Defense Iris. It's a suite of capabilities for comprehensive battle space awareness. The startup claims the software can sort through heaps of sensitive data to help officials make informed choices. And there is more.
In Russia, Putin is flexing its nuclear muscle. According to reports, Russian Navy has tested a nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine. It's called Generalissimo Suvorov. The country sent the submarine to a temporary base in the Arctic Ocean earlier this year. It carries up to 16 nuclear-tipped Russian Bulava missiles. Each of them is capable of carrying more than one nuclear warhead. It is set to eventually join and bolster the Russian Pacific Fleet's force of nuclear-powered submarines. Israel is known for its groundbreaking defense systems. It keeps experimenting with different advanced technologies. The country has successfully launched a new spy satellite into orbit. The Ofek-13 satellite is the latest addition to Israel's Ofek series of spy satellites. It is said to have advanced capabilities, including high-resolution imaging and the ability to transmit real-time intelligence to ground stations. The new satellite is expected to provide the Israeli military with vital intelligence on potential threats to its security. India is also becoming self-reliant in defense technologies. For instance, INS Vagir is one big step forward for the Indian Navy. Vagir can remain in water for 45 to 50 days. It is capable of detecting the enemy by going 400 meters deep. Due to stealth technology, Vagir does not get caught by the radar. Tejas Mark II is another example. It is an advanced combat aircraft. It is not only capable of carrying 8 beyond visual range missiles together, but can also integrate various weapons. The Made in India aircraft has a mission endurance of around 120 minutes, twice that of Tejas Mark I. Indian defense startups have also made huge strides in empowering the country's defense efforts. They are proving to be an asset to the nation. The latest developments in defense technologies are transforming the way countries fight wars and protect themselves. But here is a question: will these new military advancements help improve security, or will they add to global instability and conflict?
Moving on, time and again, some countries have been slammed for mass surveillance. They use a combination of high-tech tools to keep a close tab on people. And it seems more countries are now following this unethical practice of snooping on their citizens. We get you more details in our next report.
This is not just an animation. It's a reality in some countries. Wherever people go, there are cameras. Authorities are watching them. Another way to put this is, people in some countries are under constant surveillance. Their behavior, actions, and movements are monitored. State officials rely on the internet, high-tech cameras in public areas, and tools like GPS to track them. And what's important to note here is that technological advancements have taken surveillance to a whole new level. Countries like Iran, Egypt, Russia, and China are spying on their citizens in different ways and for different purposes. Look at what's happening in Iran. A growing number of Iranian women have been ditching their veils. This has been happening since the death of a 22-year-old Kurdish woman while she was in custody of the morality police last September. Authorities have now turned to tech to penalize these women. They are installing cameras in public places and thoroughfares to identify and penalize unveiled women. The nation is attempting to rein in the increasing number of women defying Iran's compulsory dress code. Violators will be identified and sent a text message warning them of the consequences. Despite the state pressure, women are still widely seen unveiled in malls, restaurants, shops and streets around the country.
With the use of advanced technology and equipment, the person is identified. She will be warned. Then that person will be introduced to the judicial system with the documents to deal with the issue.
This is Egypt's new administrative capital. Here, key cards are needed for access to buildings. Lampposts double up as Wi-Fi hotspot towers. A single mobile app allows the city's inhabitants to make utility payments, access public services, and register complaints with the authorities. What's more important here is that more than 6,000 surveillance cameras keep watch over thousands of residents. Some people think such features will make everyday life easier and safer. But digital rights experts fear that the promise of a smart city increases the potential risk of surveillance. After all, planting surveillance cameras across the city gives authorities an unparalleled ability to police public spaces and crack down on citizens who wish to protest or exercise their right to peaceful assembly. In 2017, the city of Moscow announced the launch of one of the world's largest facial recognition video surveillance networks. Moscow's Department of Information Technologies installed 160,000 cameras across the city to help law enforcement. More than 3,000 of those cameras were connected to the facial recognition system. But it seems Russia is using those cameras for other purposes too. It's no secret that Russian government uses facial recognition to keep an eye on citizens. The same cameras have also played an important role in the arrests of hundreds of protesters in the country. After Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, authorities began using facial recognition to prevent people from protesting in the first place. This is according to information gathered by a Russian monitoring group. And now, facial recognition is helping police identify and sweep up the Kremlin's opponents. Talking of spying, how can we miss China? China is the quintessential surveillance state, infamous for its mass surveillance system. The Chinese Communist Party relies on CCTV cameras, big data, artificial intelligence, and other new age technologies to track citizens and study their behavior. The purpose? To exercise control and prevent any brewing dissent. Smart city projects in places like Abu Dhabi and Tunisia have been set out to integrate advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, sensors, facial recognition, and machine learning. It's claimed that these technologies can help fight crime, increase efficiency, and improve governance. But the truth is, they rely on the mass collection and processing of personal data, typically without the knowledge or consent of users. This could lead to greater surveillance. These countries show the world how power can be misused and technology abused.
Up next, catch me in conversation with the head of an Indian gaming platform. He decodes the new rules designed to govern online games in India and shares a lot more. The Indian government has announced new online gaming rules. The rules are many and so are the questions around them. To answer them, we have with us an expert from the gaming industry. Deepa Gulapali is the founder and CEO of the online gaming company Head Digital Works. Welcome to WION, Mr. Gulapali. I'm sure the rules are still not clear to a lot of people. So please explain what the new online gaming rules allow and what they prohibit.
So the rules do not really allow any specific game or such, but the rules are very clearly framed that any betting and wagering on games, on outcome of a game, which means that, games of chance like a blackjack or a roulette, where there is financial transactions where a customer or a player could put in, say, 10 rupees, and the outcome of the game defines whether he's winning it or not. Such games are clearly not allowed under the rules. But if there is an element of participation or skill involved by the customer, by the player himself, then those games are allowed.
Talking about online games, how can we not talk about betting? The Indian government takes a stringent view on betting, but it has a different take on fantasy gaming. Could you explain why, as both of them involve the risk of losing money?
No, I think betting on sports has no skill factor where as a player, I am not, I don't win money based on my skill alone. But in fantasy sports, it's, I have to do my research as a player and form a team, an appropriate team where the number of points that the team can make, that will define whether I'm winning anything or not. So there is a difference between direct sports betting and fantasy sports.
But there have been cases of suicide after people have lost large amounts of money in fantasy gaming. So how is it less risky?
As long as these are regulated, controlled, all the companies that operate follow strict responsible gaming measures, set limits for customers to play, only then these these suicides can be avoided, and the customers have to be educated that these are for entertainment purposes, and that is the whole reason why a regulation is very important.
If self-regulatory bodies are created and funded by the gaming companies themselves, how can they be expected to be fair and objective?
I see, even today as we speak, right, all the gaming companies today we work with under our federations code of conduct, right? AIGF, EGF, FIF, there are various federations which define certain rules and code of conduct for these operators. And we are certified by these companies, audited by independent audit firms to make sure these companies follow strict rules. And once these SRBs are formed and the rules and code of conduct are defined, if a company has to operate in the country legitimately and get the trust of the customers, they have to follow these guidelines.
How will the new rules address the problem of gaming addiction, as it can cause several issues like social isolation, poor physical health, and increased anxiety and depression?
So the best way to combat that is to educate our customers, and this is the framework. This through the SRBs, through METI, all our operators, we are going to run campaigns across the country to ensure that people play responsibly.
What is the penalty or fine if someone is found to be in violation of these new rules?
I don't think those fines have been prescribed. I think over next few months, when the SRBs are formed, there will be clear rules and framework defined at the SRB level.
Video games have been seen as a gateway to online money laundering. How will the new rules deal with it?
I wouldn't agree to that. Online gaming in legitimate Indian companies, there's not no money laundering involved. Thanks to RBI, general Indian payment infrastructure is one of the strongest in the world, in India's payment infrastructure. And money laundering happens through, I think, mostly through illegal offshore operators, which now will not be able to operate in India with these new rules.
What is the future of online gaming in India, and what trends will shape the gaming sector in the coming years?
There's a very bright future, I would say. Industry, online gaming industry as such, could be a multi-billion-dollar industry with thousands of companies, lakhs of jobs being created, making sure this industry provides the best entertainment for digital entertainment for Indian consumers. Once the regulations are in place and the companies operate responsibly, I think the industry is here to grow, as I said, at least 30-40% CAGR.
Thank you, Mr. Gulapali, for sharing such valuable insights. The Indian online gaming industry has grown exponentially in recent years. It has an immense potential to generate revenue and employment opportunities. And we hope the new rules will positively impact India's online gaming sector in the future. We all have various passwords for multiple accounts. But are you sure that your passwords are not weak? Because if that is the case, you may need to change them right away. Watch this story to know why.
Artificial intelligence can do a lot of things, and one of them is it can now crack your passwords. According to a report by Home Security Heroes, AI can help hackers get access to your passwords in no time. Researchers used an AI-powered tool to study more than 15 million passwords, and their findings are alarming. According to the study, 51% of common passwords can be cracked by AI in less than a minute, and 65% in under an hour. The research also claims that AI can crack the majority of 6-character passwords almost instantly. This leads us to an important question. How can we make our passwords safe? Always use strong passwords. Make sure that your password has a minimum of 15 characters. It should be a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols. Include both uppercase and lowercase letters in your password. Avoid predictable patterns such as 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, get into the habit of regularly changing your passwords. There's more, don't use the same password for multiple accounts. With AI technology advancing each day, it's important to be cautious of such risks. So, use complex passwords, adopt best practices, and stay safe online.
Well, that's all we have for you in this episode of Tech It Out. We will continue to bring you exciting inventions and updates on the latest gadgets. I will be back soon. Until then, keep watching WION World is One. And yes, don't forget to follow us on social media. For now, it's me, Ankit Uteja, signing off.